Hello everyone, welcome to Peas in a Pod down here on Hartley Lane allotments at Rotherham. This is my mate Dan and I'm Martyn. For anybody who's new to us, basically we grow for show, we grow for table, but mainly we grow for fun because we love growing, don't we?
Yeah.
And we enjoy it, and that's it. It's been a cracking day really. It's been a day that if you can't enjoy a day like today, the summer up. I've been down here at majority, well, biggest part of afternoon. I haven't done a lot because it's been that hot, but really enjoyed it. You know, I was taking in out flowers and that are in the pump at minute, and it's been great. And Dan's been working, hasn't you?
I have, unfortunately. Missed the sunshine. Forecast rain for tomorrow.
Yep. No, we are ready for a drop of rain, to be fair.
I know. Very dry.
Yeah, it is, yeah. I mean, I've just been doing a bit of weeding and stuff today, and it's the bit of what we'll show you in a bit with pumpkin is that's like Sierra over there. It's bone dry at minute.
Yeah.
But saying that, nothing in the ground I've had to water yet. Reason for that is plenty of organic matter in it winter.
Yeah.
Get that in. You're not watering. You're not carrying about watering cans in this hot weather and that, apart from stuff in pots. So try and avoid as much in pots as you can. Carry some good soil. Cut down on your watering. We're going to have a look at a few things tonight. Then we're going to have a look at this Giant Veg to start with. See how that's going on, where we're at with that. We're going to have a quick look at fruit. I've been doing a bit of fruit pruning and pruning grapevine this week. And then to finish off, we'll have a look at flowers done. Yeah. So see how all blooms are going on in the pump and what we've got to come dahlia-wise and stuff. Yep. So roll VT.
Roll VT.
I just wanted to say that then. Right, so same with Giant Veg, it's not strictly true. These are what we're growing, or what I'm growing, sorry. I'm looking for quality onion here, so still a big onion. We're looking for 5 at same. This variety we've got Alicia. They're up here in these 15 litres. Keep them really on the dry side. Try and avoid them running to seed. They don't like being watered from top, but I've got them, there's not much option. So what I do is I just make an hole in it to try and limit how much surface water's on the compost. And they're growing in a 50-50 mixture, John Innes number 2, with a small bit of clover added and 50% perlite. Nice good free draining. And also below they're Alicia as well. So we'll be looking sort of 21st of this month when day lengths start altering slightly for these bulbs to be putting weight on. So that's one variety of 4 varieties of onions that we're growing this year. And I'll show them the heavyweights, Dan.
Yeah, let's go and take a look.
We'll have a look. So we're down to 2 heavyweights now. We'll not stop in here long because it's like 6 o'clock at night and we're still touching 80 degrees, in fact above 80 degrees at minute.
Really warm, isn't it?
Yeah. Measured them this morning. We've got this one at 16.5 inch. This one's slightly smaller at 16, but this has got a better neck. So I am in time expecting this one to perhaps overtake the second one there.
This neck's filled out a lot more as well, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's what I mean, it's getting a good neck on it. The big fear with these, obviously, which is happening a lot at minute to people I've seen on Facebook and stuff, is them running to seed. That's the fear. Again, as I've said before, they're growing in aqua pots. We've got 2 ways of growing them here. We've got 50-50 perlite and coir in this back one, so that's peat free. And then we've got a mixture of clover, perlite and John Innes number 2 in there. These have had absolutely no feed as such. They've just keep adding a capful SB plant invigorator into the troughs for them to take up there. At the minute I'm doing a capful about every 8 days. And these were sprayed with kilomite this morning. So they're sprayed with SB, kilomite and now and again Bravado just to break it up. They're around about 20 leaves I think on each plant. So yeah, first real first year really having a go at these onions, so I'm quite happy with them at the minute.
Yeah, good
It's like I
results.
say, should be middle of month, they should start plumping some weight on. Just hoping we can avoid the old dreaded going to seed. But they're looking clean, they're not looking too bad. While we're in here, just these cucumbers, Dan.
Yeah.
I've just got 3 Carmens in there, which are just a quality cucumber, good table cucumber. The way I like to do it with cucumbers is in that trough with water in.
Yeah.
They want high relative humidity cucumbers, and also what that does, it keeps red spider mite off them.
Yeah.
So it's warm, but they're getting that moisture, what red spider mite don't like. So unless these start showing signs that they're struggling, I won't water in the pots at all. I'll just keep that tray topped up. It's 2 of the onions, that's 2 varieties. I'll just show you the other 2 varieties quickly. These aren't giant stuff. Just got the Ventos in here. They're just a 250 gram category quality onion. Again, a bit late getting them in, but hopefully they'll make the size. And finally we've just got these down here, these white onions, what were just from sets, what we did in the £20 challenge bed. Was it Sunshine or something like that they were called, if I remember right?
I can't remember without looking at them.
No, I think it's something like Sunshine, it'll come to me. Right, Giant Veg wise then, we'll have a look at the cabbages,
Yeah.
Quick look at cabbages. Have a look at these cabbage, look at as marrows and as pumpkin, quick look at blanch leeks, then we'll move on to having a look at fruit. You can walk on this, Dan, it's fine. Just grassing all the paths at the minute. Oh, these penstemons, Dan, penstemon raven.
Yeah.
When we very first started doing YouTube, I took some cuttings in greenhouse,
Yeah, yeah.
and that's them.
They've come on
so
really well,
planted them out. I'm going to have them as an edge just to break this bit up, a penstemon edge.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So there's a slight bit of penstemon rust on odd one, but I'm not bothered about that. You know, it's nothing to worry about. Right, so in here we've got us Cornish Giants. These have been in a week, last weekend, and you can't really tell, I wouldn't suppose on camera, but these have really shot on. Watering wise, I don't know if you can pick up, but they're on a C-pose, which comes from the barrel at the back, goes all the way up, it loops round, comes back down, and it has a stopper on it here. I run this for about 16 hours, and it took about 8" out at barrel.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
He's doing well then, isn't he?
it is, yeah. I mean, till we get to end of season, jury's out on it. I'm not going to judge it yet,
Yeah.
but at the moment it's looking pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it looks good at the minute, like you say.
Yeah.
It's been a hot day today. It's been
Yeah.
windy as well.
And
and
these
the
are
ground-
showing no signs of drooping at all, are they?
No,
The
and
brassicas.
the ground still looks like there's plenty of
Yeah.
moisture in it now,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah,
good.
Again, this area, I think I put 50 bags of sterilised manure into here
Yeah.
in winter. Reason I use sterilised, because when we grow brassicas here, I didn't want any chance of bringing club root in,
Yeah.
which with farmyard manure you can do, you know. So if it's bagged and it's sterilised, you know you're not going to have that problem. So I'll just show. So basically, it just runs off there. There's no timers or anything. All I do is just turn that on in the morning or at an evening, run it for however long I want. It can be a minute, it can be all night, and turn it back off.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. Just at the side here we've got a pumpkin. A lot smaller planted out this year than normal, but that's just been the way it's been this year with other things. Atlantic Giant. We've tried strains from across the pond, from America and stuff. Never had the success or the size of a pumpkin that I've had in the past with Atlantic Giant, so I've gone back to that this year. You can see there's a trench. The reason for that is when this starts growing, which it looks small now, but you'll keep chucking plenty of water at it, that'll soon fly away. So as that main stem starts growing, I'll direct it down there and I will cover it with soil as it's growing.
Yeah.
Because at each junction where the leaves are, we'll throw more roots out.
Yeah.
I want as many as those as possible, because the more water it takes up, the bigger the pumpkin. This will get pruned, as you'll see as we go along, and it'll basically look like a Christmas tree that's fell over. So it'll be like herringbone. So you'll have a main stem, and then you'll just have offshoots, but I'll stop at every pair of leaves. Yeah. Sounds a bit, but as it grows, we'll show you. In fact, we're just going to get rid of that because it's already trying to form a pumpkin and it's way too small.
Definitely don't want that.
Right, marrow bed. Again, a bit smaller than normal, but again, heavily manured bed. Try and keep plenty of moisture in. This one's a little bit more growth on. So as you can see there, I've just put two bamboo canes across just to point it in the right direction. As soon as it gets to sort of that length, I'll start covering that main stem up.
Yeah.
I do like growing these for some reason. I'm really into growing them, and I try and beat my PB. Last year's I had a new PB, £110, so we're trying to beat that.
Yeah.
Long way off world title, because I think that's about £250 last year,
Yeah,
weren't it? So it went up with a right jump, but for a couple of lads on allotment, we have a go, don't we?
Yeah,
You know, that's it.
take a bit of part.
Oh, it's fun, isn't it? There's two more marrows on the other allotment. I've tried something different with those, so we'll have a look at those, and I'll just show you at Blanche Leaks. I've took a few collars off just to let you have a look down.
Cool.
Right, so on this plot, a bit of background to where these two marrows are growing. When I took this plot on, this was like a mini orchard, so all the fruit trees have come out. Last October time, this had 1200 litres of baked horse manure. I trenched and buried all the vegetation that come off the other allotment, so the tomato plants, sweet corn, dahlias, and then it had 2.5 1-ton bags of leaf mould added, all trenched in. So this had a lot of organic matter added to it, this soil. And then it had a 20 kilo bag of chicken pellets as well. That were sort of mid-March, I think, when they went on.
Yeah.
So it's been well fed. So it's virgin soil really for growing my marrows. What I'm doing here, different to over there, is I'm growing two marrows, same variety, well, same strain, in tandem. Again, the main stems, the main vine, that'll get trenched and covered up. And then some of the lateral growth, I'm going to graft.
Yeah.
So I'm grafting two plants together. But my ambition or my aim is just to have one marrow. So I've got more roots because the plants are grafted, so they're joined together. I'm going to have two plants putting water, nutrients into one marrow. I'm going to try and do that all the way up, see how many grafts I can get to take.
Yeah.
Simply enough grafting marrows. We'll do a graft on one of his videos live or whatever on Facebook or on YouTube just to show how it's done. Yeah, so that's the plan with that. Again, we've got this C-post system. Just dropped it there now, so as you can see it's wet. When I turn it on, all water goes there, and I'll just be following them two main veins up with it. So sort of as they go parallel, I'll go up the middle with the C-post. None of these have had any feed or anything like that yet, but they will do. These will be getting chicken pellets. I've got some diluted in a bucket there if I want to give them a liquid feed.
Yeah.
And I'll also just put some handfuls on damp side at C-post and that'll wash them in. Yeah. They do say about them burning roots, but I haven't found that with being a pellet. I find that they're washing,
Yeah, very slow.
you know, yeah. I suppose there's a chat if you get a really torrential showers, it could put too much in at once, but
Yeah.
I haven't had that yet, so till I have a problem I don't worry about it,
Yeah,
sort of thing. Yeah, so that's the marrows, but yeah, you'll be surprised how quick they go. They always seem a little bit to get the feet in, and then once they're off, you know, they'll be trying to get over that fence and they'll be all over it.
Yeah.
Just pot leeks in here, so we've got a mixture of Cumbrians and what was the big ones, Dan?
Well,
It's gone, I can't remember. Amelia, that were it, yeah. These I've got a bit neglected, mainly because I had onions up middle of here, because I had nowhere else to put them, because where the onions are I had my giant cabbage, and it just made access to them a bit difficult. So next year there's another building going up outside of this, and that's going to just be for leeks or just for onions, so they're not both together. My first year of pot leeks, probably my last, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
The Emperor Meat local show, and it's perhaps just one thing too many, trying to duck blanch, onions, marrows, and
Yeah.
I haven't given them the attention they deserve. But they'll make one for the show, and there'll be plenty for the pot, so you can't lose, can you?
No.
Blanches also, this is my first year of doing these blanch leeks, so again it's a bit trial and error, but they're not doing bad. So we've got two varieties in here. These to the right are Berwick, which goes up to, I think that, no, it's them there,
Just this one right.
that row there's Berwick, yeah, and there's the odd Berwick on here. Then we switch to the Welsh seedling. So this is a Welsh seedling, and we've got a Welsh seedling over here, which is putting a nice bit of girth on.
Yeah, they're looking really well.
They're on 18 inch to 20 inch collar now,
Yeah.
which I'll be stepping up at the end of this month, looking at 22 to 24 inch. They might do one more collar after that, I'm not sure. What I'm doing, I think that a lot of people don't do, is they cut a collar at one size and they put it on all the leeks.
Yeah.
I'm seeing to do it more individual with them. So if one's going a bit quicker than other, I'll step that collar up
Yeah.
before I do other ones. As you can see there, that's got a lot bigger collar on, longer collar than what this little, oh that's a Berwick, and what that small Berwick is down there. What I found as well is, I did run out, I didn't have enough pots to do them all pot in pot, but the pot in pot ones seem to be going a lot better than these three. Well, that one's gone now.
Yeah.
These two, what were just in 35 litres straight on floor. Perhaps I should have cut bottoms out of them, some come into the ground as well, because there's been plenty of manure and stuff gone in these beds.
Yeah.
But they're doing all right, but it's a nice shady spot, and I think they're enjoying that.
It is, yeah. It's,
Again, sprayed this morning with Killamite. To get sprayed with Bravado, Killamite. I tried them with BioLift. I didn't see a lot of results with that. That might just be me, it might be a lot of people praise it. Might be slightly different pH with water that we're adding to it, I don't know, but it's really that SB plant invigorator that these seem to have thrived on that's
yeah.
giving them that lovely sort of green foliage they've got, and there's not a lot of tipping on them, which is good. So yeah, I'm happy with them. I'll be growing, I think I started off with 24 I think this year, ended up with about 17. I think I let one or two have some and I lost one or two, as you do. So I think I'll step that up next year and also look at growing them in that tunnel as well with them pot leeks. So again, putting them all bucket in buckets and maybe just one bed, just one row though, not split rows, not double them up now. So yeah, but the thing I've enjoyed with them is as well, it's given us something since last October, hasn't it? It's been a purpose to come down and
it takes you through winter months, doesn't
does, yeah, yeah.
Whereas instead of just doing
This year with price of fuel and electric and everything, who knows what's going to happen. But
this is it.
so what I've noticed with the leeks and onions is if once you get them to January, you're all right, aren't you? You know, you seem to be away a bit then. When you get that day length starting to draw out, but those first, and I'm using T5 lights and they don't seem to respond too well, to be honest with you, with them T5s.
No.
So I might look at some spider lights this year, which is a different, an LED kind of one. Strawberries as we walk past here, Dan.
Absolutely
What a year for strawberries. Can't pick them fast enough.
Been really good this year.
Yeah, I've had them coming out my ears. I've been making strawberry flans, as you've seen on Facebook, and
Nice.
all sorts. Yeah. And I forgot to bring Dan some, so he's not happy about that. He's in them. Oh, not to, won't it, Dan? yeah, that's pretty much where we're at for the sort of giant veg and the show veg. The other show veg, we've still got some brassicas to go out, haven't we? I've got to come back down to sheet at door.
Yeah, there's still brassicas to go
Still
out.
brassicas to go out. I've got three beans, runner beans for length.
Yeah.
I'll be putting them out in next week, I think. They're still a bit small, so.
Plenty of flowers.
Yep, yep, these will all be for sure, the dahlias. Again, circumstances, I was looking for about 150 dahlias. I didn't end up with anywhere near that. They were going to go in variety in each of these beds here.
Yeah.
All the way up, but that hasn't happened, so case or all, we carry on. What I have got is I've got loads of green manure, so each one of these beds is going to get green manure in, so it's getting something added to it from somewhere. They're not going to sit there, so that'll be getting sown. All these bulk chipping paths are coming up, they're going to get grass seeded.
Yeah.
So I bought a mower and a Dan, so
Yeah,
we've got a mower to
got
cut
the
grass
same
with. Yeah. So we'll have a little look at some fruit, I think, Dan.
Yeah.
Right, so a grapevine, there's two grapevines in here, they're both the same variety. They're both a green dessert grape. I'm not a wine drinker, so I don't go on to make wine with. I had one bunch on these last year, the first year. But as you can see, it's absolutely rife with grapes this year. And I pruned them. After I'd pruned them, I thought, why didn't you do that on YouTube? But after I'd done it, as you do. So basically all I've pruned is I've got shuttered all the extension growth, and I'm trying to expose all the grapes now to as much sun as they can. So any foliage, what's covering any bunches up, I've removed. And I will keep going round them and taking leaves off. So the more sun you can get to your grapes, get the foliage off, get them exposed, the sweeter the grape will be as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we will feed these bunches down, but they're a bit too small to be doing that. So we'll definitely, I'll remember, and we'll do that one on YouTube. Same again, there's an extension growth I missed. I just snapped that off with my fingers. You're just trying to balance your foliage to your actual bunches of grapes. So you can see now, sun can get to that. And I did this last weekend, and these bunches have moved on quite a bit since then. Two little step over apples there, Dan. A bit of weed needs to be done there. Again, I've trimmed the extension growth off them. I think the variety's Limelight, and they're starting to take on now. They're forming spurs, which keeps you more fruit on it. You're not just got tip fruit on then, so you're getting more apples along the length. I've thinned this one out nearest to me. I've still got a few of those to take off. There's no point leaving all the apples on, because you'll get apple drop or you'll get undersized apples. You're better off having less apples and better quality fruit on, in my opinion. And then fruit wise, there's a small patio apple up there that's doing well. I think that's about it for the fruit. We'll be adding some more, I think, this year. So yeah. Quick look at flowers, Dan, before we finish, mate. So yeah, flowers. The old herbaceous border, what we keep coming back to. I mean, that's thinned it out a bit. There's two GMs down there. There's Mrs Bradshaw and Lady Strafford. I thinned them out a bit because they were taking over. The Ceanothus is looking stunning at the minute. On this back fence. This is getting trained across the fence. So it gets cut hard back to keep it flat. I don't want it, you know, this would form a big round bush if I let it. Trying to keep it flat, but the bees absolutely love that. A little plant there, this is its first year, so it's not in its pomp, but when it gets going, I don't know if it's a plant people will know, but it's called a runcus. And it is absolute, this plume, it gets like that, you know, as it gets a more mature plant.
Yeah.
It's absolutely banging, that flower. Yeah, it's similar to an astilbe, people know it. And we've got a mixture. I love penstemons, I love delphiniums, acanthus, so all that's going on. And then we've got things to follow, like we've got a nice phlox at the back there, That's just got a bit of cleaver in it that wants coming out at a minute, but that'll be coming into flower as some of the other stuff. The delphiniums, these are starting to go over. I'll cut them back hard. We'll get a second flush mid-August into early September of those. The ligularia is suffering a bit because it likes it really wet, and it hasn't been really wet, it's been really dry. Once, if we do get that good rain tomorrow, they're saying that'll perk back up. Big buddleia. A lot of people won't plant them in allotment. Doesn't scare me because I prune it hard back every year. As long as you're doing that, it's not hurting. You've no problems with it. And that's mixed in with a malva at the back. The irises have gone over now. I'll just let them put some back into the bowl, into the corm, and I'll cut these old flower heads back down. And that lovely white delphinium there at the back. Then the penstemon edge, what I mentioned when we looked at the cabbages. Got a little patch over there, Dan, which is the Verbena bodnantens mixed in with, sorry, it's Verbena boreensis, not bodnantens, mixed in with them Pacific delphiniums, and there were some irises in there what I've just finished flowering as well. It's just a little flowering pocket. As I'm finding these little places what I can't do much with veg-wise, instead of leaving it bare soil, plant them, put something in, grow something, yeah. It holds your soil structure, and not only that, it gives you something to look at.
Yeah, right.
At the end of the day, you know, people say it's not food. It is, it's food for the soul. Yeah. I can look at them for 10 minutes and get a lift. I've never looked at a cabbage for 10 minutes and felt any better. You know, we no disrespect to a cabbage, you know what I mean?
Right.
So why not get some flowers in? And it ups you, it diversifies things, it gets you more different species in of animals and bugs and things what you won't get, different birds. So this buddleia here is absolutely stunning purple. That's blue chips. That was, I got 2 plants, propagated them and made this mini edge here. Again, this is a dwarf variety of buddleia. When that's finished flowering, I'll cut it back to its edge shape. But again, if you're growing a flowering edge, don't prune them before they've flowered, because then you're not growing a flowering edge. Again, the baskets, they've just sat a little bit too long in the greenhouse, but they're pulling through now. Again, they're having no feed. They have 6 litres of water every 2 days, so a watering can full every second day. They seem quite happy with that. If they do show any signs of going over or not looking quite right, I'll give them a small feed, but while ever they're getting something from the compost, I won't. Just quick bed here, Dan. Put this in last week, basically. This were all stuff I've done bits of cuttings off, if you remember, and they were sat in greenhouse, and them variegated Jacob's ladder round edge, I did them on the phoning when we split all them up. So I thought I'd just plop them all in a bed and see what happens. And another one, if you like a flower for bees, these agastachias, the bees are never off them, they seem to absolutely love them. Then we've got a little selection of pots round on here. A nice little one at the back of the onion house, that's got the old, the million bells in that one, which Hollister well in a pot. Again, bought these as Trixies, so it's a free free plants in a plug. Straight into a 2 litre pot, watered, left in greenhouse to come on, put out, again watered every second day. The little autumn, winter, what am I on about, Dan? It's none of them things, is it? Shade, isn't it? Oh, look at them berries on there, Dan. Can you catch them, them cherries?
Yeah,
oh, they're stunning, them.
Pigeons will have them.
They will, but I don't mind. Yeah, so this wants adding to, but lovely little geranium. If you've got a problem shady spot and you want a plant for it, go for a proper geranium, cranesbill. They'll absolutely thrive in a shady spot and they don't stop flowering. You can get white, blue, pink, whichever, well, more or less any colour you want now. One time they were all blue. Just as tomatoes in here while we're passing. They're coming on. two varieties. There's Savants at this side near its door, and then them back four are Maisie. In soil, I've watered them once.
Yeah.
Since they were planted, they've been watered once. When I grew them in greenhouse last year, nearly all my water went on watering tomatoes in buckets. So if you can, get them in soil. It's a lot less watering. One last fella we best have a look at before we go down there.
He always forgets to get a mention.
He does.
Always forgets.
This lad who I spent mum's tripping over in greenhouse, didn't I, Dan?
He did.
He's out. Bertie Banana. He's out, look, he's out. He's free. He's in the fresh air. So he's had a good watering can full of water today, and he's looking better for it.
Yeah, he's definitely perked up.
Yep, he'll come on. He's planted now, so he'll not be going back inside. He'll just be getting, basically, his foliage brought together and fleeced up this winter, tied with string, and that should do him. So yeah, I hope you like that. It's just a few things and how things are going really. Everything's pretty steady. Just could do with some more rain, to be honest with you, but that's where it goes. We're never happy, are we? Yeah. If it rains, we'll be mourning because we're stuck in greenhouse. So, right, next week I think we'll have a look at £20 bed, Dan.
Yeah.
And we best start seed sowing for summer as sort of autumn going into winter crops.
Yeah.
So we'll get some seed trays out, or some half seed trays, and I'll show you. I don't think I've ever shown you how to sow seeds.
Yeah.
Yep, so hopefully that'll be interesting to people. And you know what to say, Dan?
No.
Fair dues then.
Enjoying the sun.
Lovely. See you next week, yeah?
See you later.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.